All right, here we go. Week 12, Vikings versus the Bears. So let me advance the slide. So the line is on Minnesota by 3.5. I'm going to take Minnesota in this case. So I actually think that 3.5 points is a really good deal for that. Let's kind of go through the numbers here. So the simulation really likes Minnesota at 88%. I'm going to downward revise that closer to this number here. But that notwithstanding, I don't think the Bears are nearly as good as being credit. I have not looked at the weather. It's probably a good bet that since it's at Chicago, it's outside, it's probably going to be cold. That's probably explaining the lower point spread. But that notwithstanding, both teams have to play in it. I realize Minnesota plays in a dome, and so they don't. But I'm guessing that the Bears don't practice outside either. So realistically speaking, I don't think it's like the old days to where no one, to where everyone played outside all the time. Both teams have to play in it. We'll probably do some of the offensive passing, perhaps. But when I come over down here, I just see a much stronger overall game here with Minnesota. Granted, in poor weather games, rushing is going to be more of a dominant factor. But when you just come over here, quite frankly, the Bears are poor in every single category. They got Caleb Williams, which is exciting, but at the same time, he can only do so much. So, do what you must with depending on the weather. But a 28-13 raw score when Sam Darnold has really been playing well, with a few exceptions, but overall they've been playing well. They've won their last three. Meanwhile, when you look at the Bears, they've lost their last four. I think that um, just having a young and a thin roster is going to wear on a team like that. The Bears, they had a nice 3-game winning streak going there, but all in all, they're not a particularly, they've won 4 games on the year. Uh, and meanwhile, I think Minnesota is a strong team. I believe it was a couple weeks ago. I think it was I forget who said it, that they found a quarterback that's Sam Darnold. I'm not willing to go that far with Sam Darnold. I'd love to see a SoCal kid doing well. I love to root for SoCal kids, being a SoCal kid myself. However, when you look at the numbers, let's go ahead and advance the slides here. When you look at the numbers, one of the things that you're going to see from both of these guys, maybe just because they're both USC quarterbacks, I'll ding on USC a little bit here. They're both prone to interceptions. That's for darn sure. I think each of them have 9 or 10 interceptions on the year, but certainly Sam Darnold's been throwing the ball a whole lot better, and you see that over here when you come over here and we look at these numbers here. You see just a higher top end there, which I think is especially telling. And as I commonly say, the simulation really values that balanced approach. So a strong running game is going to be a key to a lot of these simulations, but it's also a key to football. That's why it comes out so much. When you come over here to the right, they're just not taking good care of their quarterback. You just see a lot of sacks come over here. That's surely going to lead to some of these interceptions as well. And not a very explosive team. This explosion is so important. There's so much more than just getting a lot of yards. It's being able to get those big plays. And that's what you really see with Minnesota. I think that's going to make a really big difference in this game. Again, I realize weather is probably going to play a role, but it's going to hit both teams pretty good either way. So I would fully expect that Minnesota should be able to win this. Turnovers are always, when you have quarterbacks that are prone to throwing interceptions or just simply not taking care of the ball, so fumbles, uh, that can absolutely make a big difference in the game. And that could, those are the type of things to where you can certainly look at and say somewhat that they're both prone, but I think it was Sam Darnold, maybe there's another quarterback, won just a couple weeks ago with 5 interceptions. It's like you shouldn't win those games, but if you do, be thank your lucky stars and move on and don't do that again. So anyhow, that's my prediction. If you like what you listen to, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get subscribers, so I'd love it if you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And if you got questions or comments, drop me a note. Thank you.